if I were to tell you that you could exploit the game's mechanics to get some extremely good items before you even fought the first boss, such as Platinum and even a Heart Pendant? Do I have your attention now? Good, because Rune Factory 5's gifting system is just a little bit broken. Whether or not they intended a system to be this broken is entirely unknown to me, but if you say mid to end game equipment early, I say, how do? Please tell. Well, as it turns out, it is extremely simple. Make 5 things, then give them to a villager. But you may be asking, Johnny boy, does it actually have to be 5 things I made? Can't I just give them 5 pieces of random junk and get an item from them? Or maybe I can just give them 4 random items, then give them a homemade goodie. Sadly, I tested this out, and although there is an exception to this rule, it only seems to work if you give them 5 items that you personally made. Whether it's food, equipment, or weapons doesn't seem to matter much to them, just that you actually took the time to actually make it for them and didn't fish it out of the trash can with your grubby little fingers. You dirty loot goblin, you. And to really drive this point home, we're going to give our good friend Scary Terry a shield we made. Well, now you might be saying, why are we only giving Terry 1 shield when you said we needed to give him 5 homemade items, John? You aren't making any sense. And to that I say, good question. But quit interrupting me because I was about to get to that point. See, I've already given Terry 4 items and saved it so I could demonstrate why exactly we are starting with good old Terry over here. Terry just so happens to be one of the best people to get a gift from. Why? Well, the answer is probably in the title or the clickbait thumbnail. It's because Terry here will give you an accessory as a gift. What accessory he gives you is completely RNG, but he can give you something as simple as a bronze bracelet to a freaking heart pendant. At this point, you may be thinking that the reason I saved it before giving Terry his 5th item was because I wanted to be able to soft reset if he didn't give me the item that I wanted. That would be a very astute observation of you, good viewer, but that's not the only reason I did this. You see, while it is true that giving 5 gifts to a villager gets you a gift in return, you are not limited to only 1 gift a day. Which is why, if you take a look at the silliness that is my inventory, you will notice that I have 31 shields. We are going to get not 1, not 2, but 7 gifts from Terry if I give him all of these shields. And just for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to show you exactly what accessories he gave me the first time around. As you can see, I may not have gotten a heart pendant from our good pal Terry, but he did give me a sun pendant, which boosts the power of companions in your party, which isn't too shabby. Now that you've seen the power of gift giving, you may think that surely nobody else could give you some game-breaking items. Yeah, about that. Meet Martin. Martin here likes to give us ores for gifts. You might be thinking, okay, I don't see exactly how this could be problematic. So he gives you some ores. So what? Well, something you should keep in mind is that you can make better versions of your farming tools. All you have to do to make them is to follow these simple steps. First, you need the RP to do it, which admittedly is easier said than done. Second, you need the skill level to do it, which shouldn't be too big of an issue if you just keep making things, especially if you got a heart pendant from Terry. And most importantly, the third step is to have the items necessary to craft it. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you have, say, a platinum sickle, you could easily get your crops up to level 10, which would mean you could make some fat cash from making dishes with those level 10 crops. Well, now you might be thinking that surely the game developers wouldn't allow you to have access to platinum, gold, or silver so early in the game, right? Well, sadly I didn't record Martin giving me platinum, but I can confirm he did give it to me. He also happened to give me gold, which I did record. More than once. But I digress. Now that we're done talking about things that just absolutely break the game, we're going to talk about other useful things that we can get from the villagers. Meet Heinz Doofenshmirtz. Heinz here, for whatever reason, decided that his gift of choice to us for our crappy shield should be precious jewels. Why is this important? Well, you see, jewels can be a very good source of money depending on how high of a tier they are. Like, for instance, when he just randomly decided to give me a blue and yellow core, which were worth 3,000 gold each. So what I'm hinting at is Heinz is essentially our piggy bank, except instead of breaking him open to get the goodies, we're going to give him presents until he gives us what we want.
Whether he likes it or not.
Also, before you say or type anything, yes, I know there are better ways to get money into games, such as the Royal Curry exploit, but this can be done from the moment you meet him and have access to any crafting tools such as the crafting table or the forge. Next up is Dark. Dark is a smith, so naturally you think that he would give you something like ores. Well, no, he doesn't. But he does happen to give you the smith's best friend, hammers. Multiple hammers. And no, I don't mean the mineral and rock collecting hammers. I mean the hammer weapons. Now, given the way this video has been going, you might be thinking that there is absolutely no way you could get ridiculously strong hammers from Dark, right? Right? Well, he actually can give you strong hammers. However, the game evidently scales how strong the hammers Dark can give you are depending on where you're at in the story. Which I honestly find to be kind of funny given the fact that I have access to platinum and mid to late game accessories from the beginning of the game using this same gifting system. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. Surely we have to be done with the ridiculous villager gifts, right? And you would be kind of correct in assuming that. However, I did mention earlier in the video that there was an exception to the rule of giving 5 gifts. And while this exception may not give you weapons or accessories, they do happen to give you specifically claw and fang type items. And this exception is none other than Murakumo. Okay, so what? 1 claw or fang item for every 5 gifts sounds kind of crappy, John. Okay, first of all, what did I tell you about interrupting me? And second, Murakumo here happens to be a very generous villager. Why? Well, remember how all villagers require 5 gifts to receive a gift in return? Well, this isn't the case with Murakumo. Murakumo is an extremely generous person because they only require 1 gift before they give you a gift in return. To put that into perspective, with the 31 shields I crafted for Terry earlier, I would receive 31 fang or claw items from Murakumo compared to the 7 accessories I would receive from Terry. Not only that, but you could get some high-level claw and fangs from Murakumo if you want a nice way to make some cash. If you're lucky enough, you could essentially make a profit from buying ores to craft shields, which you would then give to Murakumo. Well, since we're starting to get to the end of what I wanted to talk about, I think I will quickly go over what other starting villagers give you as gifts. Mind you, the villagers are all below level 3 friendship, and I've heard that some people will give you better things depending on how far along the main story you are. Not to mention that I've only tested up to 12 gift returns per villager, so this list may not say everything they can give you. Elsha gives you convenience store items, mostly rice and chocolate. I literally have not seen her give me anything else. Misasagi will give you pot dishes. Randolph gives you oven foods, although most of what I've seen from him happens to be bread, which, well, makes perfect sense. Yuki gives you frying pan dishes. Simone will give you medicine. Palmo gives you crops, mushrooms, and bamboo? Heinz gives you jewels. Hina and Julian give you mixer dishes, although it is pretty weird to see a kid carrying around a stick of butter. What kind of kid walks around with a block of butter? Fuka will give you knife dishes. Lucy gives you fish. Priscilla gives you oven dishes. Cecil gives you shells and bones. Livia gives you streamer dishes. Beatrice gives you crops, mushrooms, and bamboo? That is one stingy noble. Reinhard gives you seeds. Durak gives you hammers. He gives you better hammers as the story progresses, so don't expect to see something ridiculous at the beginning of the game. Martin gives you ores. Murakumo gives you claws and fangs. Scarlet gives you simple dishes, and Rikers gives you scales. And weed for some reason. Yes, I know there are a few more villagers that aren't included on this list, but that's simply because I haven't accessed them yet. And I wanted this video to be more of a, you can do this from the beginning of the game kind of thing. I'll make an update in the comments for other villagers as I have access to them, and I might even make an updated video where I'm at the end of the game and everyone's at 10 hearts just to see if there's a glaring difference in what they give you. Thank you all for watching, and as always, until next time, see you later. Hey, did you like the video? If you like what I do and want to see more of me, like and subscribe. Did you know that I'm uploading my playthrough of Rune Factory 5 on this channel, which is also streamed on Twitch? Click one of the videos on the screen if you want to see me get up to some shenanigans, and probably also embarrass myself publicly. I also have another channel where I reviewed Rune Factory 4 and made some short guides for it. If you want to see that, click the description below. So I guess I'll see you then.